how do we feel that safety inside us that we can carry for our future generations, children, protect them. So that's the space you want to hold for you too, feeling safe inside, right? So the way I when she tested my friend was, she said, my body is temple of God, and she says for some reason I was weak there in that thinking. And I said that's because I never feel at home inside because I travel from India and I feel in this country it's a different culture and I couldn't relate. And interestingly, I decided to go back to India in 2014. I couldn't relate there either. It's almost like you get displaced, and then that displacement never ever gets reset. Interestingly, in olden days, it seems for cultural purpose, they will make them abandon their country as a punishment. And that kind of made sense because once you lose your identity, once you lose your culture, there's no going back. It's like you develop a new culture. So I could now
You see how
in
it's a punishment.
retrospect, when I went to India, I couldn't relate at all. So like I don't feel home there, I don't feel home here, and so that's when I said I really want to be the home of God. And she said, that's why I'm asking her. She said, what is one thing that will make you feel at home? Like I was watching Pocahontas and the willow tree wrapping its thing around her and greening. I felt at home when the tree itself in energy wrapped around. So there is a first tree in energy that wrapped its arm around me called Katsura. I was sitting under the Katsura tree. Katsura tree is beautiful. It has like a its leaf looks like quicken aspen, okay, but it weepy and it has like this beautiful fall colors. It looks
I
like
love fall colors.
so, but it looks like a weeping willow. So it looks sturdier, and it's a very sensitive tree. The roots will stay like within its boundaries. So if you move it, it will die. And I actually went and bought that first Katsura tree. For some reason, I didn't like it to be in my neighbor's near my neighbor's yard, and I was possessive of it. And when I shifted, it died because I thought it needed more sun, and I could have just left it alone. But I ruined its chances. So, so when through the Katsura tree, I came home, and afterwards, when it died out, I decided not to. I actually took it and the dead Katsura tree and put it in my backyard because I said it's not like an animal. You replace it with new animal. Like I feel I'm going to honor the space in.
Did you replant it in the backyard?
You replant it. But I honor that space. Now I have a bamboo groove in there. But I feel like I'll always go back to that energy it gave me because that is never going to be taken away from me. And I felt very honored, and I felt if she wants to come back, she will. And also the winters have been very very harsh.
They have.
So many of the trees that died anyway. So, but the thing I'm bringing back to is I went to Jamaica. I was staying as a barefoot doctor, and my mom was freaking out, just like you said, you were worried about your son. And she was saying, "Can you not get a normal job?" So, and I was in the convent, and the pastor did a sermon. I was living with nuns, Selamade convent in Kingston, in Jamaica, and the father said, "Everybody has to carry our own cross, and everybody is going to be nailed to this cross." And he says, "But I can tell you, each tear you shed will be wiped one by one, and every tear that the cross you carried inside would have its own resurrection." And I think, wow, that's a nice way to say it. So resurrection is not about a one-time event. It's about like multiple resurrections for multiple events. And I also saw literally in that moment when he was doing the sermon, the sun was shining on Jesus, and in his belly, right, I could literally see his face. Like it's almost like he says, "I got you." Like they call it cheese space. That's why, this is a very significant because this is where our core energy to inspire and expire comes from. The last breath we take, the diaphragm sinks in there. The first breath we take, we inspire. The last breath expire. So we need to be inspiration. And I saw Jesus face there. I with his face, and I'm like, that's when I said, what a blessing. And that's why, like, I was showing you how Jesus energy will live,
Yeah.
how Mary energy is actually stronger. Remember, I showed you, right? Jesus
Yes,
energy
yeah.
is sweet, like it feels like a breeze.
Yes.
It's like amazing how.
And maybe that's it too, because I ask for that sometimes. I just want that peace on you.
Yeah.
And I specifically, I'll ask Jesus, please.
Show me.
Am I getting frustrated? I don't know.
There is a song I used to read. It's about like me on the top of the mountain, and I've been told my answer will come. I'm holding faith, and so I decide every night I'm gonna ask Jesus to reset my world. When the sun comes in, I have new ability to shift and resurrect myself from that dead sleep. So
yeah.
And I feel like sometimes just sleeping with that problem somehow magically makes it disappear. So just hang in there. Sometimes I feel my answers comes in 72 hours, 48 hours, 24 hours, but always within 3 days I get my answer.
Yeah.
And so if you keep it, that's what my teacher told me. He says if you keep your answers that comes in shorter and shorter, you can sustain that energy.
Mm-hmm.
So the prayers is not about having your prayers answered. It's praying enough so that we can hear us inside, because our answers are inside.
Right.
Yeah. So that when you go to the church, the answer doesn't come from outside.
Right. I know. It's more that when I pray, I want to feel it, not the prayer itself. I don't know how to explain that, but it's a feeling I want to come over me that I know I have to make. You know what I mean? I know I'm not. You can't just ask and you receive. I know that, but
you need to go into you, inside the core in you, and listen to. Like even though you say you're worried about your son, what is it that you want to see as a sign that he is off his trouble? Right? Like so, you need to understand what is that one thing that will look like. Like how I told you about the plant, right? The katsura tree. So for me, it was a tree because I mean the tree didn't even stay alive, but for some reason that gave me the sustenance.
Right.
So what is it? One thing that you know for sure by doing that for you, you're going to say God is in charge.
Right. I've said that a few times. I have. I felt like okay, it's his. It's not mine. I felt like I let it go, and all of a sudden, I don't know. Maybe.
You don't need to let it go. That's another thing. You need to take responsibility to correct it, but you are not walking alone. You need to understand, I'm not walking alone. That's why, the footstep I love. Because when you see one footstep, he says, why did you make me walk alone? He says, no, that's because I carried you.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I know that too.
So
I have it in my house, as a matter of fact.
Yes, I love footprints because that's the first time I cried. I was a kid that time.
You weren't walking alone because,
So I said, oh my God, that's a beautiful thing. But what a nice words is a separation, but you need to feel that inside.
Mm.
So there is a way you can connect, become one with the solution. See, you're now focusing on the problem, so that's the cross.
Yeah.
When you become one with the solution, you become the answer to your son's prayers.
Yeah.
So you need to ask him first because you are using your thinking. So you need to ask him first, hey, what is it I can do to support you? And do it the way that makes sense to him.
Yeah.
Because if he breathes better, you're going to breathe better.
Yeah. I think he breathes better than me already. It's like
so ask him what is your secret to be okay with this situation. So maybe he will tell you because it's how he handles is what is going to release.
Yeah, because he handles things much better than I do. I mean, we had everybody's book flight, flight booked to go to California. Thank God everybody got a credit. They didn't make us. They even waited.
Well, because the court canceled.
Because the court canceled. It's like this is the third time the court cancels. You get kind of tired of it. It's like so now it's supposed to be sometime in August.
Sometimes buying time is the best gift I can give you.
I said that to myself. I said, you know what? Maybe it's just not meant to be right now. Then August is,
You have more information.
Yeah.
Thank God. Maybe there will be more evidence. Maybe there is a chance the other person will totally fall apart.
Right.
Sabotage themselves.
I know. And that was my first original thought. And then I just started getting anxiety. I'm like, what the, you know, so I don't know.
I'm so proud of you.
But
So what do you want to call this title? So we can create this as your therapy session.
Well, it's going to be about pain, right?
Resurrection.
Yeah, I like that.
So
I
you want to
need
call
that. Resurrection would
so
be good.
resurrection. Okay.
So